In the distant lands of ancient Japan, there lived a remarkable samurai, Sukahara Bokuden, whose legend was crafted through over 30 undefeated duels. Yet the essence of his mastery eluded most, for Bokuden prided himself as a swordsman of no sword. On a fateful journey aboard a ferry, he encountered a young, boisterous warrior whose taunting zeal tickled the air with challenge. With serenity, Bokuden proposed they take their contest to a nearby island. As the rash youth leapt onto the shore, brandishing his weapon with theatrics, Bokuden subtly set the boat adrift, leaving the bluster behind. No blades clashed, no blood was drawn, and his demeanor remained unmoved. This is the visage of true power, the art of non-reactivity, where proving oneself becomes irrelevant. While your lips curve in politeness and silence masks indignities, you pursue acceptance, mistakenly deemed the ultimate achievement. True strength, however, operates devoid of volume, fairness, or tempestuous emotion. It thrives in calmness, in a cool detachment that fills adversaries with unease. The feared are those who compel no battle. Their mere stance suffices to command awe. While you were instructed to feel, to embrace your humanity, and march with noble heart, here lies the crux: emotion cedes control rather than bestowing might. Transparency makes you transparent, your intentions readable, surrender wearing the guise of sensitivity. Society preaches that love forges loyalty, while empathy builds respect, but within the crucibles of power, it is emotional detachment that commands the spaces one inhabits. Emotion flows as currency, and in its economy the sparing spender amasses great wealth. Gaze into history, and note that revered rulers were seldom cherished for warmth, but feared, respected, and set apart. Consider Bai Qi, the invincible general of ancient China. Victories came not from feeling intensely, but from feeling sparingly, wielding strategy unshackled by sentiment. While tears blurred others' visions, he advanced seamlessly. Hesitations hampered many, yet he struck with precision. Here's the rugged verity they shun. Overindulgence in emotion equates to frailty. Understanding emotions as sheer data and resisting bleeding allegiances for the undeserving is liberating. Control over one's emotional realm sets the stage for reigning over broader horizons. The fairness they prescribe is indeed a narrative woven for the subjugated, an illusion of equilibrium ensuring compliance while the ambitious reshape the doctrines. Ascension does not stem from equitable dealings but from strategic maneuvers. As you await equitable judgments, those wielding influence structured dynasties, calibrating the weight of scales in their favor. The tale of Octavian, Julius Caesar's heir, illustrates that success arises from manipulating, strategizing, and realigning perceptions, not from fairness. Rome's civil discord saw outsiders anticipate Mark Antony's ascendancy for his strengths, yet Octavian's cunning, not compliance, earned him Rome's emperorship as Augustus. The patient seldom inherit power, it is claimed by those armed with foresight. Thus, when fairness is enforced, question who benefits from your adherence. Remember, outcomes conscientiously outweigh virtues. Initial teachings proclaim equality, yet when observing the world, one might wonder why some rise and others remain. Equality, a comforting narrative, restrains aspirations and discourages striving for distinction. History remembers the exceptional, the audacious who rebuffed blending in. Consider Shaka Zulu, born not of royalty but rejection. While society deemed him insignificant, he wielded the language of dominance, reforming warfare, carving a realm through sheer willpower and unconstrained by notions of equality. This untold truth exhorts against waiting passively. Seizing power necessitates action. Cast aside the metaphorical apology for divergence and restrain not your voice for others' ease. Conquest defined the world, not enforced parity. Amid terms of engagement, words hold sway, yet silence nurtures true power. Cease rancor or justification. In silence rests unyielding authority. The leaders revered for silence draw from realms deeper than verbosity. Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic Roman emperor, exemplified the quiet might when faced with crises. His composed silence bore greater weight than outward shows of force. Silence mirrors turbulence, drawing adversaries inward while remaining steadfast and unshaken. By withholding reactions, the dynamics invert, compelling others to approach, seek, and plead. Control stems not from silencing noise, but from a strategic mastery of pause. Transparency, perceived as trust's harbinger, veils vulnerability when overshared. Disclosures of self manifest as manipulated strings of control. Yet the enigma, shrouded in mystery, captivates without yielding full understanding. Respected leaders master the balance of disclosure, sparking intrigue while evading comprehension. This tactile reservation grants leaders dominance, as uncertainties gazed upon paralyze adversaries with hesitation, their psychological footing unsound. In their uncertainty resides your strength. Embrace the invisibility, subdued expressions, guarded motives, allied with silence's profound weight. Mystery fortifies one's position, casting a formidable shadow of unpredictability. Power then finds its root not in spoken loudness, but in the discernment of the unspoken, emotion kept in check. Detachment is not coldness, it is an art of mastery, stepping back to appraise without succumbing to chaos. Whether in leadership, business, or otherwise, detachment empowers the conscious control over reactions. Insults, setbacks, betrayals, and failures reframed as data points cultivate strategic advantage without tangential turmoil. Envision formidable leaders like Winston Churchill amidst crisis as the Blitz unfolded. Unwavering was his stance, translating detachment into hope for those who followed. Detachment is indeed caring, yet projecting balance between commitment and distance. A delicate equilibrium of condition for decisive, unwavering command. It's not indifference, it's discipline, for the detached hold power by never surrendering control, consistently pacing on the edge while tasting neither excess nor void, exemplifying control, not surrender. This isn't indifference, it is discipline. Within the realms of relationships, commerce, or governance, maintaining a sense of detachment allows you to wield influence. You do not plead for affirmation or pursue validation. Instead, you wait, you observe, and you proceed solely when the moment is opportune. For where others merely react, you respond. Where they succumb to frenzy, you remain composed. Where they chase, you stand still. That stillness, it embodies a form of power that can unsettle even the mightiest challenges. Acquire the art of detachment, and you redefine the rules, transitioning from merely playing the game to mastering it. Power is not about an absence of emotion. It's about discerning when and where to allocate it. This is the essence of an emotional economy, wisely investing your care, ensuring it is never squandered on those unworthy of it. Many expend their emotional reserves on every dispute, every interaction, leaving themselves depleted and exposed. Yet those who truly wield power, they safeguard their emotions as one would with treasured currency. They discern when to offer warmth and when to withhold it. Consider the adept negotiators or astute leaders. They are not perturbed by every provocation. They bide their time, expending their energy solely when it bears significance. The rest they let slip past, as unperturbed as water cascading off a duck's back. This emotional economy cultivates leverage. When you abstain from emotional reactions, others become eager for your focus, your endorsement, your response. They will challenge you, probe your boundaries, attempt to fracture your resolve, yet your emotional reserves remain intact. And that rarity? It elevates your value. In affection, commerce, or conflict, those who dispense their feelings carelessly become prey, while those who harness emotional prudence hold sway. By exercising selective indifference, you ultimately gain greater potency, esteem, and control. It's a paradox that many fail to comprehend. The less you give, the more sought after you become. There's a crucial insight few acknowledge. Power is not granted as a benevolent offering. It is seized by those bold enough to grasp it. Ascending to prominence doesn't stem from requesting permission. Esteem isn't garnered by imploring recognition. You assert what you rightfully deserve by resisting control. The world yields before the individual who can depart with certainty, not to the one who pleads to remain. The soul that exercises discernment doesn't merely endure, they dominate. They navigate turmoil like an enigmatic presence, imperceptible yet relentless. Reflect upon the towering figures of history. They weren't the most vocal or the kindest. They were the shrewdest, the most emotionally detached. Their silence was articulate. Their absence intensified their allure. When you transcend the need for approval, you shed vulnerability. When you cease to chase validation, you reclaim your authority. When you step away unapologetically, you command the course of events. And in this life's game, the one steering the game emerges victorious. Forsake waiting for others to bestow power upon you. Abandon aspirations of fairness or empathy. Stand resolute in your detachment. Master the dominion over your emotions, and seize what is rightfully yours. For the seat of power belongs not to the most vociferous, but to the one who demonstrates the greatest detachment. You've uncovered a truth that many hesitate to vocalize. Power is not about loving with ardor or caring excessively. It's about gaining mastery over your inner self, discerning when to cling on and when to release without a backward glance. The world favors those who can walk away with poise, who transform silence into an instrument of authority, and enigma into their bastion. Cease funneling your energy into those unworthy of it. Forsake the pursuit of elusive approval. Begin the journey of measured indifference, not from spite, but from strategic foresight. Because when you cultivate detachment, boundless possibilities unfold. Recall, the one adept at emotional command governs any setting. The one who detaches first commands the strategy, and the one who departs last triumphs. If this realization resonates deeply with you, if you're resolved to shift from manipulation to empowerment, embrace this message and share it with those in need of enlightenment. For true power doesn't beseech, it claims.